using the most has been picked up as well. So we have a bit of close range with the Mastiff, but we also have a bit of medium range as well with that Hemlock. And here's to hoping that he is able to use that to take this win, because he definitely needs it if he is going to keep his tournament hopes alive. Again, one game away, and he will end up losing the tournament. But he does end up actually getting a kill, and Brutally Owned used to being in this position. 0 kills to 1. Nikazer using that shield battery, but he is ahead within the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, I think this might actually be the first lead for Nikazer in all of Grand Finals. And you can see him in a 1v2 now. This is a very scary situation. There are plenty of players outside as well. If he goes down here, keep in mind, he can only afford to lose. He can't afford to lose anymore. He's down 0-1 in a best-of-3 set, in bracket reset. If he loses another game, he's out, and I think that was absolutely the play to just Void Walk out of there. That was a really the smart decision. He could have maybe stayed and gotten more kills, or maybe even just more damage, but I would absolutely not risk it. He's at 3 kills right now, and we're going to see some kills from Brutally Owned. He's got a kill here. He's going to slowly probably creep up toward that 3-kill mark, but you've got to get out of that fight before you overstay your welcome and you end up getting killed just because you're outnumbered.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Nikazer in a bit of a situation himself. Was at full shield, but now is only at about a bar. Massive shot will land. Second massive shot will land. Third will also land. And that is now 5 kills for Nikazer. Almost 6. A Volt SMG will actually take Nikazer down from that Pathfinder. Doesn't look like the Pathfinder's pushing. Okay, he is going to push, and that will be Nikazer going down. So now we see a Mastiff on the other side from Brutally Owned. Going to reload, maybe peek the door, open it. Both these players just saying who's going to actually do the opening. He uses a Thermite grenade and actually does get quite a bit of damage onto Brutally Owned. He runs back into the Thermite, will lose all of his shield HP. And that would be not a bad time to push for this other person here, but this Mastiff is dangerous if you can hit your shots. And we've seen Brutally Owned hit shots before. We will get that third. So that is 2 kills. But remember, Nikazer, I do believe, has 5 kills. So he is 3 kills away from even tying. And if it does end up in a tie, then we know damage will be the deciding factor. But Nikazer has given himself quite a bit of cushion, but it's got to be nerve-wracking to just be spectating after doing so well and knowing that your opponent has also done very well with these kills and with these damage, with the damage as these games have progressed.
Yeah, it's very difficult to not have your fate in your own hands anymore. Of course, Nikazer playing very well, I think, in this game, getting 5 kills early on and eventually going down, but at the same time, it's terrifying to know that I no longer have control over whether I'm in this tournament or not. So it's all up to whether Brutally Owned can get that 5 kills and then beat him in damage, or possibly just get 6 kills and not need that tiebreaker. It's not likely, but I mean, there have been plenty of times in this tournament that Brutally Owned has done something not likely and come out on top. So I don't know. I don't even think that we can use odds in this situation anymore, because Brutally Owned has surpassed a lot of them. Though, you know, Nikazer's not here for no reason. He beat Brutally Owned in winter semifinals, and he just dropped 5 kills in that hot drop, and now he's just hoping it's going to be enough.
Yeah, hoping and praying from spectator that Brutally Owned will get flanked, will get third-partied, anything to keep his hopes alive. But again, Brutally Owned in a great position to take the tournament. 3 kills, for Brutally Owned at least, 3 kills is not a lot. We have seen him do many team wipes in all the games of his that we have spectated. So it is not outside of the realm of possibility at all. He just has to actually get it done. He has to find the people. There are 10 squads left. That's quite a bit of people. But he is, again, very far from the zone. One of the few players that we spectate in these tournaments that actually don't either don't pay too close attention to the zone or just don't really care about it all that much. Because I'm pretty sure almost every game he's been in this situation, running away from the zone, trying to get to try to get to the safe zone while taking quite a bit of damage, and he's died in the zone multiple times for it. So it has definitely taken its toll.
Yeah, with purple armor at this point, only 9 squads remaining. So the time for getting those 3 kills is, it's ticking down. Of course, not impossible at any point in the game to get kills, but as the game progresses, it does get more difficult. Uh, Enemies get more spongy. They have better weapons, and theoretically, they're better players that make it farther in the game. So it will be more difficult to get the kills he needs as he waits. But the problem is he's not really presented with an opportunity right now. He's waiting for a squad to show up, but uh, no one is presenting themselves to him. So he's kind of just running around looking for enemies to pick a fight with and hopefully be able to finish off and then get that 5th kill he needs and then maybe win in a damage tiebreaker, because I don't think there was much damage that uh, that Nikazer was able to get outside of the damage for knocking. I don't believe there's really anyone that he hit and didn't end up eventually killing, and I don't think he finished off many players either. So I think if he gets that 5th kill, he could very easily win on damage. Right? So at this point, it's basically a matter of uh, whether he's able to find these kills he needs. Again, at only 2, he's going to need 3 in order to match Nikazer's, which, if he's able to find a squad, it as I said it before, it will be tough in order to actually 1v3 them, but uh, especially with Octane, because as we've talked about before, Octane doesn't have the greatest combat versatility, although if Brutally Owned is able to use some of the ultimate tricks that we saw him get up to beforehand, he may be able to just kind of bamboozle a couple of people. But right now, it's an issue of actually finding the players to kill. Only 7 squads left, one of those being his own. So, he's actually found one of the players here. If he's able to pick him off, this would be a major step in progress. Brutally Owned, just continuing to kind of hang around in this high ground area. Horizon Ultimate down there, not wanting to mess with that too much. Brutally Owned trying to just finish this off, but he's not given the opportunity to do so. And I know both Nikazer and Brutally Owned are on the edges of their seats right now, knowing that if Brutally Owned gets these 3 kills and is able to win in that damage tiebreaker, it's the end of the tournament. And Nikazer knowing it's out of his own hands, it must be truly terrifying. And there we go. We can see at least 2 players hanging around. And this is a lot of damage coming out here for Brutally Owned. Reloading now. It's the question is that 2 or 3 players? I believe he's going to be able to get the kill from that knock as well. 3rd player is likely hanging somewhere around the area. Just trying to bait him out. There we go. He's secured one of those kills. Only needs 2 more to tie. In which case we will go to damage between the 2 players to determine a winner. Really Owned dropping the ultimate, and he's going to move further into the zone, because at this point the zone is going to begin to hurt a little bit. Thankfully he is playing Octane, so he doesn't have to worry too much about not being able to outrun the zone, or rather the storm. It's also a question of whether he can actually find players on his way and 5 squads left, 10 players at most. This is actually exactly what Brutally Owned wants. 4 squads left now, because as there are this many squads, and we can see that we are obviously we can't see how many players are left alive at this point. That means there aren't very many. Um, and so this implies that there are plenty of squads that have low numbers of players. Of course, Brutally Owned is among those, but if he's able to find these squads of 2 players or 1 player or whatever it may be, those are pretty easy kills, especially for a player like Brutally Owned, who's been performing this way for so long, and he's actually picked up that 4th kill as well from the knock he received or he delivered earlier, which means he only needs 1 more kill in order to take this, assuming he's going to be able to get the damage he needs, which isn't guaranteed. He may need a 6th kill. The 5th puts him in striking range, assuming he can get the damage. And there we go. We can see a player moving up ahead, I believe. Really Owned, just trying to rotate around. He's now within the circle, only 2 enemy squads remaining. And these are likely squads of 2 or 3 players, which makes this incredibly difficult because, you know, at this point, they're going to have full purple armor, maybe even red Evo armor, or possibly even gold armor, as well as all the heals you could possibly want and plenty of weapons that players feel comfortable with. So it's going to be very difficult for Brutally Owned to get the single kill he needs, because you know where 1 player is, the other 2 players are going to be right next to them, especially in this final circle where everyone typically just finds like a house or some kind of area to center around and group up. But he's found one of the 2 squads taking a couple of shots, but trying to decide if he wants to commit to this or not, because he needs this 1 kill. If he fails at doing this, he will go to a 3rd and final game, where whichever player wins will win the tournament. He has this game to give, but of course he'd love to finish things out here. Running outside the ring, but it's going to be a little bit of damage that he doesn't want to take. Dropping his ultimate instead. And he'll be able to get up this wall. And it's now a question of whether he can get the 1 or 2 kills he needs. It looks like the other 2 squads may be fighting here. Delivering a little bit of damage, going in for the kill. A couple of massive shots coming out. A few of them are finding their mark, but he's taking damage himself. He's got to be careful. And he's got the kill. That's the 5th kill he needs. And that was a single player. The other squad is right here. It's now a matter of how much damage he can get. It's going to be close. He's dead, but it's all up to what the scoreboard says. And we're, the game knows that we are waiting for this very important result, because we're going to have to wait.